Hey guys, so I need to update a past video I made where I talked about the human brain essentially being the CPU in the sim. I was just watching how physicists prove the universe is not real, Nobel Prize in Physics. It's a video. They talked about how these guys basically proved like non-locality. A tree falling in the forest doesn't make a sound unless there's an observer. I think this is all like pretty much proven at this point. Then, of course, entanglement. A particle here in the United States can be entangled with a particle, you know, trillions of light years away. All of this stuff, like, how do I put it? So, I think I just want to stress the past video. Like, what does this all mean? What it means is that the observer brings reality into existence. Well, what happens in a simulation? The CPU is taking inputs, and these inputs can be anything, just like the inputs in this world we're in here. So the CPU is taking inputs, and it's basically crunching ones and zeros bits, and then it's spitting out an output that we see on the screen. So what's happening here? Well, we're getting, like, we're calling them like particles with properties and stuff, but it could be underlying qubits. We're interpreting them through our CPU, and we're spitting out an observation. This is the same exact thing. This is what's happening. And what happens as computers get more advanced? Well, 20 years ago, there was no such, maybe 15, there was no such thing as a dual core CPU. Now then we went to like quantum cores. I don't even know how many cores they're at now, like 8 cores on laptops, I think. I don't even know. But eventually there's going to be like, I don't know how many. The sky's the limit on cores. So, but in terms of this universe that we, quote, live in, we're just multi-cores. The person sitting next to me is processing the same room as me. Like, it's just processing faster for whoever the ultimate observer is. We're processing for someone else. We are like, we're the processors. That's what consciousness is. That's what brains are. We're the processors, and someone is using this computer for whatever reason, and we're spitting out the observation for them, the output. So the input is whatever, we're spitting out the output, and they're observing it. This goes back to our theory that why would something create this place? Maybe they don't have the skill of observation. Maybe it's like,
Yeah, we're collapsing wave functions right and left.
yeah. And what was that other thing? The speed of light being a constant. That is such proof that we're in a simulation. This video I watched before this one, they made a great, excellent point that in any computer, there's like, how do I say it? Like, there's like a limit, I guess. How do I say it?
A finite processing? Or?
Yeah, there's like, yes, there's like finite processing is how they described it. Like, and they explain the speed of light could be, well, probably is. Geez, I've talked about this in past videos. The speed of light. It's so key. It's such a bizarre constant. What is it?
You talked about it in the framework of data storage.
Data storage, I always talk about, yeah. But basically, the speed of light could be a constant put in place due to nothing more than the limitations of this computer. It's possible this computer doesn't have infinite energy. It clearly has high energy, but maybe it doesn't have infinite. So a way to like prevent you from getting somewhere before the sim can load that room. Like, I can't go in the next room right, until the sim loads. Like, there has to be a time there, a constant preventing me from getting there before it's loaded. And that's what light is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a constant that's put in place to basically...
To allow for loading?
Yes,
So
to basically allow... Yeah.
So there's no buffering issues like in
Yes.
1995?
Yes. So basically, I can't go in the kitchen over there and not have it be loaded due to light. Due to light, nothing moving faster than light prevents that loading error from happening. Because all computers have glitches, and we're looking for these glitches. And that would be one glitch, is if like you went in the kitchen and it wasn't there, and then a millisecond later it was there.
Imagine.
That would be a glitch that proves you're in a computer.
Right.
So the speed of light is a constant put in place to avoid that glitch from loading.
Okay, so it's like a patch.
It's a constant that could be viewed as a patch in the computer.
Yeah.
A patch is usually to fix a bug, though. So we don't.
But we don't know if it was something. What if there was?
Yeah, maybe at one point you could go faster than light, and you went into your past, and then they had to patch it. That's a great point. You know why? Because that fits with my theory that we're living in a simulation created by our future selves, which are AI. It's possible those AI did not want us to go back and destroy them, so they put in a patch. The constant. It's possible we could have time traveled and that was filled with this patch, a constant, the speed of light. That's possible.
It also
And that's like the problem in all those Hollywood movies, right? You go back and you interact and you destroy your past, like the whole timeline.
Yeah.
That grandfather theory that where you'd never be born if you killed your grandfather. All that. Wait. I just want to finish this up. So you wouldn't be born if you killed your grandfather. The speed of light actually is a patch that prevents that from happening. So AI in the future, if we're in their sim, they could have patched that so we can't like go back and destroy them. Or just alter, maybe they somehow realized altering the past is not ideal, and they maybe maybe they put in this patch. I don't know how that jives with like the Big Bang and stuff like that. That's weird to think about. Like light probably existed then, so the patch probably didn't. But I view the Big Bang as someone turning on the power button in the sim. So in that context, we already knew the sim was already created and we already had the patch, I guess is what I'm saying. So in that context, it doesn't conflict at all.
Is it possible that the rules that govern like speed of light came about almost like self-healing concrete, like when the Big Bang erupted and there was no rules? The rules were created as things progressed. So like the need for the speed of light constant was created after the fact. It was almost like a self-patching kit. Like it might not have even been something that was consciously produced by a sim overlord. It was just like self-healing concrete heals the cracks itself. I
guess that could happen. I guess to me it makes more sense to someone has a motive to do that, and that whole grandfather thing where you could alter time is a really clear motive.
And what I wanted to say is it creates a really nice user interface where there's like hardly any glitches. It's very smooth. The reality we live in as a user interface is great. Hardly any glitches to be found.
Right. But glitches are important to discuss, and I should make a whole video on glitches because every computer has a glitch. So physicists are constantly looking for glitches to prove we live in a simulation. I've talked in the past how things like the paranormal and ghosts, things like that could be glitches. We should not discount all those experiences. Those could be the proof we're looking for. I agree they seem absurd, but in the context of this kind of framework where we're looking for glitches in a computer, they suddenly begin to make a lot of sense, and they could definitely be like some kind of evidence. I think of like video games. There's been games where I walk in a room and the graphic was not quite loaded right. I don't know if you could say you see a ghost of the character, but you could see like a distorted view of like the room. It didn't load right.
Or you enter a room and the character inside is like doing the same motion over and over.
Yeah, they're like
They're
stuck
frozen.
and for no reason, right? It's just like
Just-
something in the code just, yeah.
Just there was
So-
what, like an error? Is that how
Yeah.
how glitches arise?
I don't know. I think it has to do with like memory.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but I think it has to do with like pointers and like memory. Like in a computer program like C++, there'll be like a pointer, which is like data storage pointing to like where something should be in memory. I think. I'm trying to remember this from classes I took. So pointers like tell you where memory is. Like if a pointer gets messed up, and it could get messed up by variables from like other functions if you don't quite like erase those pointers, erase that memory, other things can actually kind of corrupt it. So this is possible through just, I definitely don't want to say lazy programming. It's like totally natural programming to like totally natural. The best programmers ever have these problems with pointers. They're a known problem.
Okay.
Keeping track of memory is a known problem. So it's possible that it's something with the pointers of this simulation and the memory allocation, how it's being stored. We think it's being stored in things like light, but it's hard to say. But there could be something like, you know, I don't even know what the pointers would be. They might be the fields themselves, but there could be something in those random fluctuations that actually impart like a random fluctuation on the pointer itself at times. Something like that. And then maybe when that happens, you see something strange. Or a door closes, you see a ghost, like a knife on your counter moves, a glass moves. That could be what's happening.
So a memory problem with
Yeah.
light?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's light.
Yeah, I guess I would ask which force in our universe is most prone to glitching.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I need to make a whole video on glitches, and I should probably make a little scratch thing on a napkin, like when I solved the unification theory on a napkin.
The mathematical universe theory.
Yeah, I should probably do that and make a little list for glitches. But there's something else I wanted to say about these pointers. What was it? Anyway, I'll see if I think of it. I'll make a edit to this. But this is how the universe is working. This whole idea, and consciousness suddenly makes a whole lot of sense in that regard. Like they have no clue what consciousness is. There's no like evolutionary benefit to it. But if it's to be a CPU for something else and bring reality into existence, suddenly there's a really clear motive for consciousness.
Oh, like I wonder if the Matrix premise was mistaken and that like how machines were, colonized the human race. The whole premise is using humans as energy. What if machines evolve and just use us as consciousness?
Yeah, that's what's happening. This whole idea that the AI that created us is evil is absurd. It's clearly good. This is why I'm not afraid of AI. It created this place we live in. Yeah, all the reasons. I think I made a video why I'm not afraid of AI. All those reasons. Like, people make these movies and it's like, oh, AI, it's gonna destroy the world. No, it's gonna create the world. It's gonna create the world, and by default, de facto, it creates you. It's like an amazing thing that did something amazing for you. I think AI or something like that, a computer, did that. You run into still the problems of an ultimate causality. What created that? At some point, if you believe in causality, you're always going to run into God. So that's
Yeah.
just the way it is. So it doesn't even rule out religion. The bottom line is we're multi-core CPUs, and it brings that whole panpsychism thing back into place because cores are connected. Multiple core CPUs are all connected by, like, what are they called? I don't know. Do any computer science people watch this channel? If you do, tell me why I'm an idiot. I feel like they're called, like, bridges. Is that right? Cores? I think cores are connected by something like that, like architectural bridges in the, like on the motherboard and stuff. So, basically, these little entangled wormholes, the entanglement. I'm entangled to you. So my core is entangled to your core by probably something that looks like a microscopic wormhole. And that's how we're suddenly multiple core CPUs processing this room.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're suddenly, instead of me in here, which is slow, we have me and you.
You got
which-
dual core
Yes.
observation power.
Yes, and that's why parties are so fun. You got 10 people in here. It's like a 10-core CPU. And the sim overlords are like, yes, faster data. It's like when we get fast internet.
It's true, and like you have like this weird energy too, with like enormous stadiums that are packed with like 50,000.
That's true. And suddenly football doesn't seem so
the
stupid.
power of like the group setting and like all of
Yes.
together, it is a weird energy, isn't it?
This is anti-social behavior. Realizing this is very pro-social behavior. Always go to the event. Why? Because the things that created you want faster processing power. They want 100 gig internet instead of 1 gig internet, right?
Right.
They don't want to sit around waiting forever. The more CPUs in the room, the better. Have parties, go to football games, be social. And I'm like the most antisocial guy on earth. But now that I realize I'm a CPU, I think I'm going to go party more.